Welcome back to Action Fan and welcome back to the update from the cupboard series. Today we're not really going to be updating anything, but I'm going to give you an update of what's in cupboard number 2. Right, we'll start top left. Right, so there you can see we've got our sailor. So he's actually got the sailor box there behind him. Maybe we can have a quick look at the box. He's faded a little bit because he was up on the shelf in the other room, and I'm not sure if he's got anything missing. Original box. See just behind there, he's got HMS Dreadnought on there. Now I know there's several of them. You can get these in reproductions at Action Man HQ, I believe, these ribbons. But at some stage, I want to collect all of the boat names on them. But for now, I've got one. Now moving along, we've got this guy here. He's a bit of a mixture. He's the mix between the Action Sailor and the Navy Dress Parade and the Navy Attack set. I've kind of put all of the bits together from all three sailors to make him. Right, so next, moving along. Now this guy really needs to be with the assault teams down the bottom, really, with these guys. He's underwater assault. Now, once again, he's a slight hybrid because his pipes are yellow. I changed the pipes to yellow. Then we've got the deep sea diver. Now this guy's from 1967 in the uniform. Now anybody would have seen my videos knows that behind there is an imposter. When we zoom in, you can see 1990s Action Man. And we don't have to waste one of our original Action Men. Moving on, we got the SAS key figure, I believe. There was 2 SAS figures. There was the SAS key figure and the SAS commander. I'm not 100% sure what the difference is. I'll look at a later date and I'll endeavour to get the other one. The SAS outfit came out in 1980 as well. So you could buy the uniform separately a little bit earlier. And behind him, we've got the SAS box. Let's show you the box. Fantastic artwork. Let's put this guy up there before he falls over. There you go. And next to him is the SAS Parachute Attack. Now, this guy originally, he had a different gun. I'll show you a clip of that now. And I thought that was his gun, but it wasn't. So this all black M16 supposedly is his. Right, this next guy came out in 1983. It was the Action Man SAS Underwater Attack. Like with a lot of my bits and pieces, I do mix and match bits just for show. But he has got the majority of his stuff. Once again, you can see that he's got the custom yellow tubes because I thought that went well with the SAS. The SAS logo is yellow, as you can see there on the boat. And so I thought it was fitting for him to have some yellow pipes. Just jumping back, we can see we've got a boat there. I'm not sure the date when these boats came out. It's a 90s boat and it's painted white. Right, let's get back to the Navy Frogman. He came out in 1966. The boat is the SAS Beachhead Attack or Beachhead Assault, and that came out in 1982. And there's the pod. I'm not sure about that. I don't know if that was the Parachute Attack or some kind of mission thing, I believe. Actually, I believe I've got the box to that somewhere. So let's drop down to shelf number 2. Right, so this is the Action Man horse. With the horse is 2 mounties. You got one at the back there and one at the front. I haven't got any of the tack for the horse. That's something I really need to get. Now this guy is interesting because you could only get this uniform with the Star Card incentive scheme, which was launched with the first Action Soldier in 1966. You did not buy this uniform. You sent your stars off and you got this uniform. Also down there is Brutus. Now he was another Star Card thing. I don't know how many stars you had to collect for any of these things. Something I'll have to look up. Right, moving along, we got the policeman. Okay, I know that the motorcycle came out in 1978. You can't remember the price I paid for that. That was when I first started collecting. I actually got quite a good version of that. A lot of them go very yellow, as you guys know. That one's not too bad. Right, so then you've got the firefighter there. I am missing quite a few of his tools. That's something I've got to look for. Now, I think this is the second version, so I'm not sure of the dates. You can tell, I believe, by the coat. I think the original coat was slightly different to this one. now we're on to the Nazis. Though the Nazis were pretty evil, the uniforms that Action Man developed were great. We've got the Afrika Korps there. We've got two of them. One wearing a helmet, one wearing the cap. Now, I think the cap he's wearing there is a reproduction. I think that was Coxey who did that for me. I'm not 100% sure. The Afrika Korps was 1979. And then also the Lance Corporal came out in 1980. So I believe that the original Afrika Korps didn't have the brown webbing. And he didn't have the helmet. Next to him, you got the Panzer Captain. I'm not 100% sure about them blue goggles. Now, he was 1981. Like I said, not sure about those blue goggles. I vaguely remember someone telling me that they weren't correct. And in the picture I'm looking at now, they're green. I'm not 100% sure. Next to him, obviously, is Stormtrooper. Now, original Stormtrooper came out in 1967. I think this is the 67 uniform, the second edition, and the uniform was a bit thinner and everything like that. And I think the second edition was 1973. But I'm not 100% sure which one I've got, but I think, looking at the cloth, I think that's the first edition. Right, let's move down to the lower shelf. We've got two astronauts. Now, they came out in 1967. I think both of these have had new elastic that I've done. The guy on the left is an imposter again. He's a 90, kind of a takeoff of Steve Austin. I don't know if he's Action Man. I haven't really looked. I can't remember. But he's got some sort of a bionic eye. But he's taking the place of an Action Man. Right, and then you got one next to him. There you go. So I've got two of them. Behind them in the box is the 30th anniversary Action Man. It was basically a 90s Action Man, but they tried to copy some of the older stuff. I was really excited when I first saw this, but it wasn't really that good. The Action Man had the big silly hands that didn't do anything. I bought it because it was the anniversary of Action Man. So then we move along and we've got Zargonite. Now, Captain Zargon himself was 1981. But as for the Zargonite, I believe he was basically Captain Zargon's henchman. And if you have a look, you can see you've got a couple of my homemade bandoliers there laying across his chest. That one's gone a bit floppy around the top there, but the homemade ones. I do them in various colours, but I've not yet perfected them. So next is our special teams. We've got the Ground Assault and the Arctic Assault. And if you've been keeping up with my videos, you'll know that the Arctic Assault hasn't got his pouch. The Ground Assault's got two, but also his water bottle's missing. And there you go. If you've got really sharp eyes or you watch my latest video, he's got the correct gun, but it's the wrong colour. It's that gun there, basically, but it's all black with a red scope on it. And then moving on, behind there, you can see we've got an array of arts and science Action Men. Now you've got the strange ones with the Barbie type T-Rex bodies with the arms that don't bend. And then they came out with 30 point of articulation. So they were the better ones, obviously. They're the ones that people want. I have collected a couple of the T-Rex ones, you can see right at the back there, because of the history side of things. Now, the first one there is actually a 70s Action Man. Now, he's dressed up in a bit of a kit bash. Him and the guy next to him, I think he was called Action Soldier Deluxe. And then you've got the desert guy behind him. And then you've got the Officer Cadet in the, what we would have called the basic soldier uniform. The trousers, the jumper and the beret. Then behind him, you've got the Action Sailor. Right, so then you've got the Action Pilot behind him. Let's have a quick read about these guys. On the 9th of September 2022, they introduced what they called the 4th generation of Action Man. Each of the limited edition figures has a new body, new uniform, a vintage style head with detailed features and 30 points of articulation. Obviously that doesn't include the T-Rex guys. Behind there, we've got the Action Sailor, and he's in like full dress gear. This guy, I think he's an Action Sailor as well, but he's more in your everyday working gear, and that's more in your parade gear, I'm taking it. I collect these, but I'm just not emotionally attached to them. I think at a later date, I should do a little bit more with these guys, get them out. get another sailor, get him on show. So there you go. That's the whole of cupboard number 2. Just give you a little look on top. We've got 90s Action Man mountain bike rider at the back. We've got our shark that I picked up. Obviously not Action Man. We've got a couple of 90s Action Man go-karts there. This was a take on the original one. Obviously it's a 90s Action Man, but I put him in a blue jumpsuit. I think that's Arts and Science Action Man, the 4th generation. I painted his helmet white to match the original, and he's in a yellow go-kart to match the original. Obviously not identical, but my little take on it. Now I've got a couple of Airfix models up there that I've never got around to doing. I really want to do them. 90s Action Man with a Commander hat on there in a canoe, and we've got the 90s car. Right, so that completes the look at cupboard 2. You can see we've got cupboard 1 to the left. Over there, we've already had a look at that. To my left, and there's what I call my shelf, the messy area. My 50th at the top, and all my bits and pieces that are waiting to be done and go in the cupboards there. And in front of that is the 90s cupboard. At a later date, I'll take a cupboard tour of that. I collect the 90s, reminds me of my son, and it's part of Action Man history. So that's just about it. I've showed you cupboard number 2. If there's anything you want to know, don't ask me, because my brain's like a sieve. I look everything up. I use Action Man HQ, fantastic website. Go ahead and take a look at their website. You can also buy reproduction stickers, armbands, you name it. Thanks for watching. See you in the next exciting episode.